everybody, thank you for joining us for this tutorial today. My name is Mary Ann. I'm with Depo International, and my presentation should last about 15 minutes. And then I will answer any questions. During the presentation, you can ask questions by scrolling to the bottom of your screen and clicking on the Q&A button. You are welcome to ask questions anytime during the presentation, and we will answer them at the end. Our topic today is remote depositions and technology, which is a hot topic right now. We have actually been doing remote depositions for many years now. A lot of times our clients will opt for remote depositions rather than traveling to another state or country for it, so it can be very cost effective. Rest assured, we have had a lot of experiences scheduling and facilitating remote depositions, so everything should work smoothly. DepoRemote is the vehicle we use for remote depositions. One reason we prefer DepoRemote is because of the high level of security it has. It also ensures that we are HIPAA and BAA compliant. When we set up a remote deposition, we provide a unique link and password protection. We also use a feature called the waiting room. With the waiting room, anyone that attempts to join our remote meeting using the unique link and password is first put into a waiting room rather than in the main meeting. The host will have to allow that participant into the room. This prevents anyone that is not supposed to be there from joining. Another reason we like to use DepoRemote is that depositions can be conducted right over Wi-Fi. Everyone just needs to have internet access and a device to connect on, so it's super convenient and it's not complicated. So how does it work when you want to set up your remote deposition? It's very similar to setting up an in-person deposition. You just contact our office to schedule it. Just let us know the date and time and any other information about the deposition that you have, and we'll get it scheduled. I will provide a link to DepoRemote, which I will send to you, and you can then distribute it to all of the other participants. Or if you would like me to send out the link to all of the participants, I'm happy to do that. Just provide me with their email addresses and I'll take care of it. Before the date of the deposition, if any of the participants would like to do a test call with me to make sure their connection is good and to make sure they know how everything works, I'm more than happy to do that as well. They can just contact me, let me know that they would like to do a test, and we'll set up a time for that. The test call is always a very helpful thing to do to ensure that everything goes even more smoothly on the date of the deposition, and something we highly recommend for every DepoRemote conference. On the date of the deposition, I will usually get on DepoRemote early so that I can start letting people in from the waiting room, and also to make sure everyone is connecting well and that they can see and hear each other. So it's a good idea to try to connect a good 10 or 15 minutes before the deposition is supposed to start. The court reporter also gets on the conference early so she can take down people's contact information and whatever else she needs from them. The court reporter is able to take down appearances, make sure objections are obviously logged throughout the deposition, and swear in the witness right through DepoRemote. Once the witness is sworn in, the question and answer process can begin, and it's just like a normal deposition. The court reporter will be taking down a verbatim record just as they would at an in-person setting. I would like to show you some of the features that are helpful. When you first get on DepoRemote, check to make sure your video and mic are on. So if you follow my cursor down here to the bottom left-hand corner, you see a mic icon and a video icon. And from here you can turn on and off your microphone, just like that. And you can also turn on and off your video. If you turn off your video, you're still in the conference. It just doesn't show your face. It just shows your name, just like that. And then if you move your cursor on over, you see this icon here that tells you how many participants are there. So if you click and unclick it, over here on the right hand side, you'll see a list of the participants. So right now you see my name up here as the host, and there's Annette and there's Scott. And that also tells me who has their mic on and who has their video on. Okay, and one other thing I wanted to tell you about your microphone over here in the lower left corner. It's actually helpful to turn off your microphone if it's not your turn to speak during the deposition. That way it eliminates any background noises and any distractions during the deposition. And then if you do have something you want to add or say, all you have to do is click the microphone and you're able to talk right away. So that's always a really helpful thing to do during the deposition. Okay, so next, after participants, you see this icon here, it says chat. If you click on that, it brings up the chat window. And this enables you to send messages to the group. So if I was to just write a message here, hi everybody, and send it in, then everybody in the conference will see that message. So that can be helpful if you're having any technical issues. If your sound isn't working, you can send a message to the group saying, hey, I'm having some issues. Hang on a minute. And it's also helpful if you want to send people your contact information or anything like that. As an added security feature, we have disabled private chats in the chat room. And that is so that an attorney can't send a private message to the witness. And that's really helpful during a deposition if that can be disabled. So any message that you send in chat will be visible to everybody. And then if you look down here, also in the chat box, you see the word file. So if there was a file that I wanted to send to everybody in the group so they would have access to it and that they could download it onto their own computer, such as an exhibit or anything like that, all I have to do is click on File, just like this. And then my files from my own computer are brought up. And I'm just going to scroll down and find something that I can share with the group. And let's say I want to share this one that says Scan 001. Click on that. And as you can see over here in the chat window, that has uploaded and now everybody can see it. And all they would need to do is click on it and then they can download it onto their own computer. So that can be super helpful during a deposition as well. Now I just want to go over the different viewing options that you have when you get on the remote conference. So right now, the way I have it set up is speaker view. So since I'm the person speaking, I'm the person in the big square here, and Annette and Scott are in the small squares up here at the top. So if you would like to have it so that you are seeing whoever is speaking in the big box, then you would have it on speaker view. Another option is gallery view. As you can see up here in the right hand corner, if you click on gallery view, now you see everybody in their own little squares, but you're looking at everyone at the same time. So that if that's preferable to speaker view, then you can definitely set it up that way. So another option you have, if there is one person that you would really like to focus on during the meeting, such as the witness, all you would need to do is click on the three little dots. Let's just say, for instance, if Scott was the witness, you see the three little dots, you click on that, and there you see pin video. So if I click pin video, then he is the one that's going to be in the big square no matter who's talking, and we can have him there the whole time. So, and then you can unpin, and then it goes right back to normal speaker view. And I'm going to pin me just because I'm the one talking. So those are just some options of the way that you can view the meeting. And the next feature I want to show you is the one we get the most questions about. And that is a lot of people ask how are exhibits handled during a remote deposition. Another reason we like DepoRemote is that we can handle exhibits right through this platform without having to upload anything. Down here at the bottom you will see this button that says Share Screen. If you would like to display an exhibit during a deposition, you can click on Share Screen, and it gives you different options based on what you have on your computer of what you would like to share. If I was to share my screen, then it would bring up my computer screen and I could navigate from there and everyone would see what I was doing. I'm just going to show you one I had pulled up, which is order form. So if I was to click on order form, then here it is on our in our remote Depo, and I have the power to scroll up and down and show that. Once I'm done sharing, I would just click on Stop Share, and I'm back here in the normal remote meeting. So that is something that is really helpful, and we get a lot of questions about that. Exhibits can be pre-marked if you want, but it's not required. The court reporter can mark the exhibits with an electronic sticker, either during or after the deposition is over. It helps if you can send the exhibits to us ahead of time so the court reporter has the file there in front of her. But it's also okay to send the exhibits to her after the deposition is over. If you need the witness to circle anything on the document or mark it up in any way, that is possible while the document is being shared. The witness would just click on Annotate up at the top, and then they are able to circle or mark anything on the screen in front of them. And then once you're finished with the document, you would just click Stop Share, and then as I showed you, we're back here in the conference. There are a lot of advanced features you can use with DepoRemote in terms of sharing exhibits. So we are not limited to sharing static documents. We can share videos and graphics as well. You don't need to install anything either. It's all run right from your computer. As long as you are able to open the file from your desktop, a video can be played for the witness. You can ask questions about the video being played, capture their reaction in real time, and then mark it as an exhibit. This can all be done through the share screen feature. And I mentioned before how over here in the chat room you can send documents. I also wanted to tell you that another thing you can do is to paste a hyperlink in the chat window to a folder in a share file program that you have uploaded all of the exhibits to. And then all of the participants would need, all they would need to do is to click on that link, and then they would be taken to the file. Common programs for sharing files are ShareFile, Dropbox, and Box.com. Another feature I want to show you, which can be really helpful during a deposition, is called the breakout room. So if the deposition is on a short break and one of the attorneys wants to have a quick private conversation with their client, or if a couple of attorneys want to have a private conversation, we can actually put them in a private breakout room right here in DepoRemote. And they don't need to do anything on their end. They just tell me, or whoever the host is, they just let them know they need a breakout room, and the host can set that up for them. They would just let her know who should be in the breakout room and about how long they need, because we can set a timer for it, whether they need 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever. We can set a timer, and then as soon as that time is up, they are automatically put back into the main meeting. So that is a super helpful feature during depositions. One option to consider when scheduling with us to ensure everything goes smoothly, you can choose to have one of our DepoRemote expert technicians assist you during your entire deposition. From pulling up exhibits to sharing them, annotating them, and marking exhibits, or to assist you in breakout rooms. We can help with all of that, so you can focus on the deposition. You will just need to contact us ahead of time to set up this service. One last thing I wanted to mention is that our office recently held a webinar where we talked about different aspects of remote depositions, and we really went into more detail about everything. We want you to be as informed as possible. If you are interested in watching the webinar, just contact our office. It lasts for 1 hour, and it will give you 1 CLE credit. So those were all the features I wanted to go over with you today. All in all, we think the DepoRemote platform is the best way to do remote depositions. It's easy to use, it's very straightforward, and it makes the deposition go very smoothly. We at Depo International want to make sure that your remote deposition experience is seamless and as easy as possible. Contact me anytime if you have any questions or if you would like to do a test call with me. Now I'm available to answer any questions you may have thought of during this tutorial. And it looks like we did get several questions in. First question I see here is, have you noticed an increase in remote depositions, or are people postponing their depositions? So we have actually noticed a very significant increase in remote depositions, especially as people realize that it can be done this way and that it's convenient, it's easy, and it's straightforward. They're definitely scheduling more remote depositions than in previous months and years. Next question is, do attorneys or law firms need to have a Zoom or a DepoRemote account? And the answer is no, you don't need to sign up for any kind of account. We set up everything for you. As long as you have the link and the password, which we will send to you for your deposition, that is all you need. Okay, next question is, how does it work if we need the remote deposition to be videotaped? So that is a really good question. The video conference can be recorded by DepoRemote, and we can definitely do that for you and send the recording afterwards. As you can see here at the bottom, there's a record button. So the host is the one that has the ability to record it. So you would just need to let the host know that you would like it to be recorded, and we can do that. However, I just want to point out that video conference recordings might not be admissible in court unless it was done by a certified legal videographer. So if you plan on using the video in court, we strongly recommend scheduling a videographer to attend by remote depo and to record it. And we can take care of having a videographer attend as well. And the next question is, how does an attorney receive real time during a remote deposition? So receiving real time during a remote deposition is pretty simple and very much the same as receiving real time in an in-person deposition. The attorney requesting real time would receive a link, and through that link they will be able to view the transcript in real time during the deposition. We suggest setting up an iPad to have the real-time transcript on the iPad so you can easily view the video and the real-time transcript. And the next question, when it comes to sharing exhibits in the meeting, will the court reporter handle that part? For exhibit sharing during the deposition, you have a couple of options to consider. Since the court reporter's hands will be busy typing the whole time, she won't really be able to do the technical things such as sharing exhibits on share screen. So one option is for the attorney to do it, and it's a very simple process, and I can always show the attorney before the depo how to use the share screen function. Another option would be for the attorney to have a paralegal or assistant attend the DepoRemote meeting as well and handle the sharing of exhibits at the right time. And the third option is the one I mentioned earlier, where you can have one of our DepoRemote technicians attend the meeting the whole time and assist with sharing of exhibits and any other technical features that you would like to utilize. Next question is, what if the witness needs an interpreter? We do have interpreters available that can attend remotely as well. We have actually already had several remote depositions which required an interpreter, and everything went well. The interpreter was able to get on the remote depo and interpret just as if they were in person. So it's not a problem. Next question is, if we want to send the exhibits to the court reporter ahead of time, how should we do that? And the answer is, the easiest thing to do is just to email the exhibits to me at scheduling@depointernational.com, and I will make sure the court reporter has them for the deposition. You can email them to me as individual attachments if you want, or you can send me a hyperlink to a share file program, such as Dropbox, Box.com, or ShareFile. Next question is, how does the court reporter swear in the witness when everyone is remote? So the court reporter can swear in the witness right over DepoRemote. She will have the witness raise their right hand and provide the oath and have the witness respond in the affirmative. It's just like swearing in the witness when they are in the same room. Next question is, what do you put in the notice for a remote deposition? So from what I have seen in the notices people have sent me, is that instead of listing a physical address for the location of the deposition, they are saying that the deposition will be taken by remote means or by video conferencing. Some people will even ask me ahead of time for the link to the video conference, and then they will include the link in the depo notice. You don't have to do it that way, but I know some people like to. It's perfectly fine to provide everyone with the link via email after the notice has been served. And the next question, other than disabling the private chat, do you have other recommendations to ensure that counsel and the witness aren't communicating or previewing exhibits off the record? So we suggest having the witness sit an extended distance from the computer, tablet, phone, or whatever device they're on. Ask a question of the witness on the record of what he or she has available around them, like a phone, a tablet, etc. And next question is, what happens when there is not opposing counsel present? How do you authenticate the witness? So before the depo starts, the witness would need to have a form or two of identification. The witness will be asked by the court reporter to hold his or her identification up to the camera so the attorney and the court reporter can see it. The court reporter will then ask the deposing attorney on the record if they would stipulate to the authenticity of the witness. It looks like we have one last question. Are there any types of cases that don't work well for DepoRemote? And the answer is no. All types of depositions work well. So I just want to thank you for watching our tutorial today, and I hope that you had some of your questions answered and that you learned a little about it. If you have any other questions, or if you would like me to go over anything with you, please contact me here at Depo International and I will be happy to do that. Thank you so much and have a great day.